Hey, Pete.
Hey, man.
Are you listening to the words I'm saying right now?
No.
I'm Adam Maness.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
Daily jazz advice coming at you.
Coming at you. Today's episode is sponsored by Open Studio. Go to openstudionetwork.com.
For now.
For now.
Whoosh.
Wait, yeah.
Okay.
Secrets
Okay.
abound.
All right.
You could just Google Open Studio, jazz lessons.
That's right.
You can Google You'll Hear It. You can find us that way too.
You could just Google
Man.
and support the Google.
Go to google.com
and search Google.
So what do we got today? What are we talking about?
I think we were talking. You know what? You told me 20 seconds ago, and I totally forgot already. So refresh us.
Lyrics, buddy.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
lyrics.
come on, man. we got a speak pipe. Actually, this week 5 speak pipes.
Oh, come on now.
That's right. So this is a speak pipe from Burke.
Hey, Peter and Adam. My name is Burke Ingraffia. I'm a songwriter who spends a lot of time perfecting lyrics and conveying emotion not only with music, but the combination of music with words. I've worked with some musicians who really listen to what's being said through the lyrics before they play a single note, but some players pay no attention to the song, only the changes. For example, take a tune like Days of Wine and Roses, which is a very sad song. I sometimes hear bands play this at a very happy up-tempo swing, and it ruins the song for me. Without understanding lyrics, the tune's just a sterile mathematical set of chord changes. Who, in your opinion, are the best players when it comes to really connecting their playing with the emotional content of the lyrics? Thanks again for your podcast. I really enjoy it.
Okay, somebody that comes to mind is Ella Fitzgerald. She really is a great player that connects the.
She really connected to the lyrics. Yeah, Nancy Wilson.
Nancy was good. Sarah Vaughan.
Yeah, I suppose he's talking about instrumentalists. I mean, you could say someone like Keith Jarrett, but I think of Keith Jarrett's version of Days of Wine and Roses.
It's very happy.
Very happy.
Well, we're going to talk about that because I don't think that necessarily. I wouldn't agree that denotes somebody that doesn't know or understand the lyrics because. Just because you know the lyrics, it doesn't mean, and they are sad, the Days of Wine and Roses.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you have to play the tune in that way.
They're sentimental. I don't know if they're. I don't know. See, this is the thing, right?
Yeah. How literal do we have to be?
Well, and if I take the information that the music of Days of Wine and Roses provides me, that does not give me a feeling of sadness.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I hear what he's saying about, and it's a great point about understanding the lyric, but and I try, like, especially if you're playing with a singer, like, you have to tell the story of the song, right?
Well, and I think that's kind of the point, is that it's okay to play different. We by necessity should play differently when we're playing with the actual lyrics and we're not there. That's an adjustment we make, just like if you have a drummer and you don't have a drummer, or what the instrumentation is. That's a major part of kind of our strategies to doing it. So we can and we will talk about ways to navigate that. But I think to pretend like we're going to play a song exactly the same when we're hearing the lyrics, when the listener's hearing the lyrics rather, as when we don't, I don't think is accurate, is helpful.
Yeah, I agree. And it's hard to think about it like, should you learn the lyrics to every single song that you do from the Great American Songbook?
Yes.
I guess you should.
Ideally, but
that's a big task, though.
Do I know every lyric? No, to all the songs I play.
I try to get a general. I mean, I definitely read lyrics, and I try to understand what the song's about before I approach any song.
Yeah. And I think certain songs and certain types of songs lend themselves to you being able to glean more information about how to play them.
For sure.
Like, I'm thinking, like, a tisket, a tasket. I mean, if you know the lyrics, I mean, it's light. It's very lighthearted. And I don't think that there's some sort of great depth, even if you know the lyrics, that you're going to be able to bring to playing that. Whereas something like, Embraceable You, I mean, like, that's the way that the lyrics link up with the melody on there. Look, you could play that song great, probably never knowing the lyrics or not speaking English or whatever. Yeah. But wow, what more can you bring to that if you do know the lyrics? So I think that this is not going to be kind of an all-in-one solution. And when I hear people like, you have to learn the lyrics, I mean, of course that's good, but it's not always necessary.
I mean, ideally,
jazz, please come in.
No, seriously, for real. Ideally, you should learn all the lyrics and learn the verses. Learn the verse lyrics.
And learn every tune and every key.
Yeah, well, because sometimes that, the verse, like I'm thinking about T for 2, like the verse to T for 2 tells the whole story
Right.
of the song before the quote unquote chorus even comes in.
Yeah.
But I think about Bud Powell's version of T for Two. Is that bad?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it is a bit of a mathematical formula, but now it's its own thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Well, I love what you set up now. Like, if any of our lovely listeners or haters out there has a problem with what we're saying, write into us and tell us why you think Bud Powell is sad, okay? And that'll explain things.
no, but I mean, there is a bit of a history. There is a bit of a precedent of taking what is essentially the sketch of the tune,
Yeah.
right? The music of the tune, the bones of the tune, and making what jazz musicians have done now for decades and decades and decades, which is making their own statement out of those bones.
Right.
I don't think Bud Powell's version of T for Two is bad at all.
No.
And it doesn't convey the romanticism of the actual lyric.
No.
I mean, if that was the case, Blossom Deary's version would be much better than Bud Powell's version.
Right.
Because it actually romantically tells this story
Exactly.
in a cute way, which is very, T for Two is a cute title even.
Yeah.
But Bud Powell's version's killing.
Exactly. I mean, look, that's always the proof. We always talk about listen, number one.
Yeah.
And that's the proofs in the pudding. And I think that we actually don't, I mean, it's good to know the lyrics, but then even if you know them, you don't want to do the thing. And I know we've both probably encountered this in arranging. Sometimes you can know the lyrics too well almost, or not know them too well, but try to apply them to the arrangement too much. Perfect instance on Misty. I remember coming to that point because I did an orchestra arrangement for Diane Reeves of that tune. There's that point in the lyrics, and 1,000 violins begin to play. I was about to do that and write, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually, I had a really thick violins right up to that point, and it's just kind of an antidote to the lyric. I had no violins just for that measure.
Good for you.
Yeah, because I'm like, it's too easy. That's too easy. It's too obvious of the lyrics, and I think that there's a certain mystery that, of course, when we play a song without the lyrics, you're already taking that element away. So there is a playfulness or something. There's different ways to deal with that. So just because you know them doesn't mean you have to apply them in the most obvious ways, i.e. play a sad lyric song in a sad way. And I mean, look, our music, jazz is so much based upon the blues. Like, we know that's the foundation and the roots of this music, a big part of it. And the blues is the ultimate like dichotomy of like major and minor, happy and sad. Like, you cannot say like all blues are sad, really, or all blues are major, minor.
No.
So it's like that element and that kind of juxtaposition, I think, is important.
Yeah, and you know what, and Burke, I don't think we're saying here, you don't have to learn the lyrics or don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I think as a rule, especially if it's something you're going to perform to make part of your own, to record, really understand as much as you can about the song you're about to perform.
Yeah.
For sure, because it's only going to make you understand. But I don't think there should be a hard and fast, like, it doesn't kill me when someone interprets a song differently than maybe the story even, would suggest.
Yeah. And I think it's like one of those things that, the goal is to, it's very much like learning tunes in all keys. It's like, that is so helpful. You'll get so much out of that, but at certain times you'll get more out of it. And it's not realistic to always do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, we're supposed to floss every day.
Now,
if you're going to miss one day, though, don't miss the day that you eat ribs and you got all the, there's certain days that flossing's more important than other days, right?
And I think there's certain tunes where this is more important.
Exactly.
Like if someone was doing a love supreme.
Oh, come on, love, that's my jam. What? Bam.
I'm going to be a little pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Or Lush Life,
Yeah.
In a happy way or whatever.
Well, Love Supreme, that's pretty easy to learn the lyrics because you just sang the entire lyrics to Love Supreme.
You know what I'm talking about, though. If you totally change the vibe of something that has such a strong vibe, but a lot of these Great American Songbook tunes, let's be honest here.
But you know what? Even changing the vibe of a tune until it's not really cool until somebody figures out a way to do it and it sounds good.
I know, man.
That's the thing.
Totally.
But to the point of who I can't remember. Burke. Yeah. To Burke's point, maybe in order to know that you're going to change, you got to kind of know it.
You got to know it. Yeah, I'm not going to fault again Keith Jarrett for his version of Days of Wine and Roses because it's a little peppy.
And I think of Keith as being a very lyrical player,
sure.
And there's got to be a general connection between lyrics. I mean, I know they mean two different things, sort of, but there is an inherent lyricism in lyrics and melody. It's never just the lyrics, because then it's just poetry or writing or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's that connection with the melody that some of these songs have a stronger connection, a stronger bond. They're just higher quality lyrics.
That's true. Yeah.
And he was asking about players that we thought really was it played in a lyrical way or were
Yeah.
And Keith Jarrett, I'm thinking Bill Evans.
For sure.
Very lyrical.
You ever heard of a guy named Herbie Hancock?
Herbie Hancock, master of the lyric.
Brad Meldau, I think, plays to the lyrics very, very well. Yeah.
We're really hitting on piano players here.
I know.
Well, my first one was best, Ella Fitzgerald, master of the lyrics.
No, but I would say Ben Webster is someone that I listen to interpret a lyric. Clark Terry.
Yeah.
Unbelievable at interpreting tunes.
I think Miles was, like, you think about, like, Miles Davis, My Funny Valentine.
Totally.
Man, you really, I mean, talk about getting the spirit of that tune and that lyric.
In that regard, Cannonball. One of my favorite interpreters of
basically all the good players. Is that what we're saying?
I mean, but it's part of being a good player is to understanding the lyrics.
Yeah.
So, in general, yes, learn the lyrics as much as you can, but I'm not going to fault someone for taking a tune to somewhere new.
Right.
It's like a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Exactly. And then think about how you're applying it, and then you can be confident once you know them to apply them, and sometimes in an ironic or seemingly counterintuitive way.
Yeah. I do like his point, though, and I think it could be reiterated, that sometimes we get, as jazz musicians, we get disconnected from some of these older great American songs that someone just says, go learn There Will Never Be Another You. Now, that's not a great song. Like, it's fine. The lyric is fine, but it's not, like, very deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it is important, to his point, that we get disconnected to that. Think about if you were to play a modern pop song and you wouldn't, you know, it's something that you grew up with. You would want to convey the spirit of that song because it's something that you know really well.
Yeah, well, a modern song like "You Believe Me," I mean, you remind me of my Jeep.
Yeah, you really want to convey that. Did you just drop an R. Kelly anthem?
Yeah. Ooh, very.
Wow.
I'm very anti R. Kelly now. I just put it out there, but I do remember that song. So. Good.
Thanks, Burke.
Yeah,
it's a great question. It's a great conversation to have too with each other, and keep preaching the lyric thing.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Actually, I'm realizing, and I was kind of the beneficiary of this, just because a lot of the stuff I heard growing up, and like I learned a lot of songs from vocalists. Like that.
Yeah, me too.
This is a way where you can kind of just learn it at the same time.
I was going to say,
it's a very organic connection.
Aside from like the first standards I learned, you know, that jazz musicians taught me, a lot of standards I learned playing with great vocalists.
Yeah.
And it's easy then because you know the lyrics so well, you know.
Exactly. And you can think about reference recordings, even if there's, say, like if you're a pianist or saxophone player, and it's like, I love Sonny Rollins' version of this tune or whatever. Think about the reference record. And by reference, I mean like the one that you're going to learn it from by ear, you know, because we try to preach staying a little bit away from going straight to the real book or the sheet music, right? Yeah. So you're going to train your ears a little bit and you're going to learn it. So maybe you've got this great version. No tunes really coming to mind, but it could be anything, and you're like, that's your version. Maybe think about a really good vocal version of that and learn it from that, even if it's like, oh, I want to learn Sonny Rollins' version, because then you're going to get that lyrics organically in the flow with the melody, which is where it belongs.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Good.
Cool.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to this week. This is going to be fun, man. We got a lot of speak pipes. Man,
it's just the beginning.
We're going to be totally like listener driven up in here.
If you want to send us a speak pipe, and we encourage you to, you can go to you'llhearit.com. You can leave us your message there. Don't sleep on the ratings and reviews either. They're very helpful for spreading the word.
No, I mentioned before I tried to sleep on them under my mattress one time. It didn't work out as well as I was hoping. Until tomorrow.
You'll hear it.